Hello and good morning. Hello and welcome to Bulletproof Filter-Free Friday. Fire away. Grab your bulletproof coffee. It smells so yummy. Hey, Katie. Hello, Jamie and Sherry and Chrissy. Morning, Andrea. Good morning. Hello, Christine and Danielle. Debbie. Let's see what else we got rocking and rolling here. Hello, schools are closed. Did you guys get a ton of snow? Hey, Julie. Hello, Jennifer and Lisa. Laura and Katie and Stephanie. Teacher's on a snow day, so I can watch. Yay, Stephanie. So there's obviously lots of snow. I did see this morning that they've shut down a ton of flights. Hey, Bree. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Debbie. They shut down a ton of flights, so I'm assuming that morning, Carrie. I'm assuming that a lot of you got snow. My northern girls, my northern ladies. Hello, Lanika and Nicole. Is it cold here? No. Probably 85, but I am inside enjoying my robe because on Friday mornings I do laundry and hang with you guys, so I didn't leave yet and or get dressed or do anything else. I did empty the dishwasher. Good morning from the UK. I did empty the dishwasher, do some dishes, do some laundry, and make the business manager breakfast. So those are the things that I've done. Hello. It is, I wouldn't necessarily call it productive. That's just the daily grind. Good. 18 in mass. Yeah, so obviously you guys are getting some snow and some of this weather. We are not seeing it. 5-foot banks, snow banks, Amber. Holy cow. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'd love to tell you that we have rotten weather too, but we don't. Well, Lisa, I'm glad you got off work. Not so good about it. And I'm assuming that's a problem. You guys must not be able to start your cars, right? Like that must be a thing. Hey, Danielle. That must be a thing, I would assume. You guys can't start your cars when it gets this cold. I've never had that problem, but I've never lived any place cold. Does it ever get so hot you can't start your car? No, I don't think that's a thing. But I know that you guys can get so cold that you can't start your cars. But we don't really have that. I was wearing one of my favorite nighties. My husband hates this one. Plenty of ice, but no snow, Danielle said where she's from. I did my morning song. I can sign off with the song again. You guys know I'll sing for you. We can sign off using the song as well. I was up in the middle of the night because somebody had a bad dream, which led to the sheets being changed at 3 a.m. And yes, obviously, if you guys are up north where the snow is, please take your time driving. Stay inside if you can. Make sure to have on your proper snow equipment. Because the ice is so terrible and you need to stay safe. And so if you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Stay here with me. Prayers to Lisa's grandma. Prayers. But yeah, so last night we had some nightmares and some pee. And so I went to go check on him and asked him about his nightmare. And I didn't know at that point that he had peed the bed. So I was like, oh, do you want me to just lay with you for a minute? And I opened the blanket to crawl in with him, and it was soaked. And I'm like, nope, not going to lay with you. I was like, I'm not going to lay with you. So I stripped the bed, and then, of course, he woke up my daughter, and so then I was trying to get her to go back to sleep, and I'm starting laundry, and I was getting him set up on the couch, and it's like, oh my gosh, like exactly what you need at 3 a.m., right, is somebody to pee. Although I didn't get peed on, so it was a positive, so it was fine. I just washed some sheets, so we'll change those sheets. So you guys, Melanie says oh, Elizabeth, I've had them on for a couple of weeks. I was using Invisalign, and I just couldn't get them to work. So apparently I have an overbite. So the dentist said I had to get these on first. The bottom ones go on in March. You know what? I tried the Invisalign because I didn't really want to have braces at 37, but I decided I'm just going to embrace the braces. Did you guys love that? That was a really good one. Okay. So yeah, so moving on. So yesterday morning was super scary. My kids were all getting up and getting ready for school. And all of a sudden my son comes in screaming because he went out to put the dogs out. And he comes in screaming saying, Velma bit the neighbor's dog. And I just jumped up and ran like a shot and ran out into the yard, and there was no dog and nobody else out there. So I was like, what dog? Where? Where?
She didn't bite the dog.
She went to, okay, let me finish my story. She was saying good morning with her mouth. Okay, with her mouth. It didn't seem to be, goodbye. It didn't seem to be a vicious thing when I got to the neighbor. But I quickly went across the street to the neighbor, and I said, my son just told me that my dog bit at your dog. What's going on? Is your dog okay? And he's like, oh yeah, well, I didn't have my dog on the leash, and she went into your yard, and Velma kind of went over and picked her up. Their dog is this big, okay? It's a little tiny teddy bear something. The teddy bear, I don't even know what it's called. They're called some sort of teddy bear. It's some sort of a Shih Tzu and something. I don't know. Come here, Velma. And so anyway, it looks like a chew toy, okay? She's adorable, but this little dog looks like a chew toy. It's a teacup dog. Yes, it's tiny. So apparently when it scurried into our yard, Velma just went to, like, pick it up. She didn't shake or she didn't growl or she didn't do anything, but she was like, oh, this is neat, and, like, picked her up. So the neighbor just kind of took her out of my dog's mouth. I panicked. I ran over there. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry. I don't know what to do about this. And he's like, well, the dog's fine. And it, you know, it kind of was my fault because she wasn't on the leash. And we have an electric fence, but I never really thought about somebody's dog coming into my yard. I've always thought about my dogs going out of the yard. So then I started to panic, like, what if this had really been bad? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I would be so sad for the dog. I would be so sad for my dog. It was just, my kids were crying because they were like, if your dog bites another dog, do you have to put your dog down? And I'm like, nobody has to put the dog down, but we have to make sure that when we have the dogs outside, that we're being vigilant and we're sitting there and we're watching them. And I'm considering now thinking about putting a fence up in the back. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Hope. He was understanding, Olivia, but at the same time, I was like, this is not, like, we got the electric fence because they denied us to put up a real fence. But, like, this is not good. Like, we should, it's my yard, and I need to make sure that I keep my dog safe and other people's dogs safe. So I have to figure this out. So now I'm going to have to go back and ask if I can put a fence up again, because this one is super protective of the yard. And I like the electric fence a ton, and it works great, but it doesn't keep other things out, which we're learning now because we've had it for a couple of years. But she is very sweet and loves her mommy and loves her yard and loves her kids, but apparently will, you know, pick up other people's dogs because they're animals. So we didn't put up a real fence because our homeowners association does not like them. So they said, no, we couldn't have one, but it's a bunch of BS because it's not like we live in some highfalutin fancy neighborhood and other people have. Well, he should have had his leash on his dog. And in hindsight, even though I have the electric fence, I guess now maybe I was supposed to have mine on. But so now I'm walking her on a leash when I go out because I'm panicked about it until we figure this out. Do not bark at that man. He is simply riding a bike. She's always trying to save us from, you know, the neighborhood, which it's a bunch of old people. We live in a retiree neighborhood. And here's the thing. She's doing her job, but they're animals, and it freaked me out, and I would feel so terrible. I would feel so terrible. I'm an animal lover. I would feel so terrible if she hurt another animal. So we've been a bit panicked about that. Come here. You're literally standing on my table. Come here. Look at her. She's so bad. Come here. Why are you doing that? Come here. Come see Mommy. Come see Mommy. Why are you doing that? Come here. Oh my goodness. She's being so bad. Everybody wanted to say good morning to you. They're walking. Nobody here is stealing our stuff. Nobody is robbing our house. They're vigilant. Vigilant against the riffraff in my neighborhood. There's a bunch of old people walking. Walking. Just walking. Are you done? Are you done? You got your paw stuck in there? All right. All right. Say goodbye. Go ahead. Or are you just going to lay here now? Okay. Yeah. And here's the thing too. She's Doberman and Lab, we think. She's a mutt mix. But boy, oh boy, I was at a loss, guys. I really, really was. I was at a loss. I'm trying to fold laundry here. I was at a loss. And that's the whole thing. It's like, they're animals. They're animals, and we keep, you know, I don't know. They're animals. That's the bottom line. So anyway, so that's next thing we're adding onto the list. Which, this is, Michelle, I have had her, she just turned 8 last month. We forgot to post about her birthday, but her birthday was last month. And she just turned 2 in September. So this is the alpha right here. This is the alpha pup. Yeah, they're very pretty puppies, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, she's only 2, Shannon. She's only 2. She's only 2. So yeah, it's I know, and they bark at everything. They think they're saving the universe, you know? And I know, and they're always watching the old people. It's like, what are you watching them for? They're not doing anything. So anyway, all right, so moving on from that, but that made me, I'm literally sweating again after telling that story because it made me freak out because I love animals. I would be so sad if anything happened. I'd feel so bad about it. You can go. You don't have to sit with me. Thank you. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, she is still a puppy. That's part of the problem. So I was in yoga yesterday. Let's tell this story. This one is I guess it's funny. I was a little annoyed, but so I was in yoga yesterday, and for those of you who don't know, I do hot yoga. Okay, I do hot yoga, and hot yoga means they heat the room up to like 100, 105 degrees. Happy birthday, Anne! And you go in, and it's very humid in there because they've got like humidifiers blowing like steam, and I do it because I've got a bad back, and I can't really exercise like I used to since my surgeries because I've got mesh and all sorts of scars and stuff on my stomach. And so I go and I do the hot yoga because it's the exercise that I can handle and I like it, and it's my hour and it's my quiet time. And so I go yesterday. So I go to yoga yesterday, and there aren't that many people in there, which is nice because a lot of times you'll go and there's like 20 people and it's crammed in and everybody smells and it's super sweaty and gross, but whatever. So I'm sitting in there. There's only like 5 of us. The woman who's laying next to me, at the beginning of class, with every move she does, she starts to moan. And I'm like, it was very odd. So she's laying there and like she's picking her leg, she's like, and then she'd move over and it'd be the next move and she'd be like, and I'm like, what is she doing? And so the whole time we're going through our move, and it's like, and it's like, lady, you need to stop. Like, she just kept moaning. She just kept the entire time. And it didn't matter. Like, no matter what she was doing, like, there were moans coming out. And then some of the moans were like, and I was just sitting there and I'm like, holy crap. Like, holy crap. Like, stop. Like, just stop. And so we're getting through, and we're almost to the end of class. And then, not next to me on this side, but one over, there was a gentleman, and he's sitting there, and all of a sudden he goes to reach for his yoga block, and he reaches forward and he goes, and it's just like, oh God. So we're all just sitting here, and this one over here goes, and then the guy next to me, and I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, I have to pretend to be an adult, and I have to not laugh out loud right now because I've got this lady moaning and I've got this dude ripping butt, and I'm just going, oh my gosh. Like, I know I'm 37 and a grown-up and I need to stop, but I can't, like, I wanted to laugh. I wanted to laugh so bad, but I was like, I was trying to keep my inner 12-year-old self, you know, like, in check. And it was so ridiculous. But I was like sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, because I've done yoga. I mean, I've been going to this place for a good long time. And this woman has been in several of the classes that I've been in. And I've never heard her moan like this. So this was brand new. This was not new moaning, because Eric has noticed this moaning before too. But this was intensified moaning, right? So like she would be laying there and it's like, and I was like, what on earth is happening right now? So I'm just like, and then of course the instructor's like, now everybody just find your space to be calm and find some center. And it's like, I can't find any center or calm because all she's doing is I know, it was a terrible noise. I know. And then the tooting, and I was like, okay, you cannot, no, just stop. People are just walking. People are just walking. Hey, you want to go in the crate? Stop there, just walking. Stop it. Oh, it's a whole clan, it's a whole group of them, there's 3 of them. 3 of those people are walking. What should we do? Quickly call the police and let them know that people are exercising. If anybody would have said anything or laughed after this dude tooted, it would have been over for me. But everybody kind of like kept it together. But it was rough, guys. It was rough. No, I don't even want to imagine the bedroom noises, guys. It was just one of those things where I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like just stop. I know, excuse me, ma'am, are you okay? Because I think she was fine, right? Like I saw her after class, like getting ready to pack up her stuff. She was fine, but it was just very, it made me, every time we'd lay down too, and then she would heavy breathe, she'd be like, like laying on her mat, and I'm like, is this really happening? Is this happening right now? So it was very weird. And here's the thing, I'm a talker, everybody here knows that I'm a chatter, and I giggle, and I'm immature. They just woke up your dog, sorry. But here's the thing, like, I don't think I've ever been in a class and moaned to the point where I've thought that other people might think that I was either orgasming or having an issue, but it's like, and then of course it's like, what are you going to do? Go tell the yoga teacher, like, she was really moany today in class and that really messed up my namaste. Like, I can't say that, right? So I just was like, but then when I talked to Eric about it afterwards and I described her, he was like, that's the lady, she moans in my class too. Because we don't always get to go to yoga together. mostly never go to yoga together. Sometimes we get to go bulletproof, Helen. You can go to Bulletproof Coffee. Click the link above. Get 10% off your order. And you can get this coffee cup and the coffee that goes in the cup. And if Aunt Pat were here, she'd tell you it's her favorite coffee. She loves the Mentalist. As do I. She had to be in pain, Sarah. And that's why I kept it to myself. I said nothing. I did not make a big deal out of it, but I'm going to come tell you guys. I mean, I feel like that doesn't make me a bad person, right? That I tell this story. It was awkward. It was an awkward, weird situation. You got the guy farting, you know, and here's the thing. It's hot yoga. You are actually supposed to be relaxing. They have decaf, I'm sure. I don't drink decaf, if you can't tell. But I mean, you're relaxing like your stuff. So toots happen in hot yoga more often than not. It's clean, Sabrina. It's a clean coffee. But I mean, one time, and I think I told you guys this, one time there was a lady sitting right next to me. She was sitting literally right next to me in yoga. And, all of a sudden, she sat up, like from the middle of a Nama, you need to Nama shut up. No, she was laying down in a pose, and all of a sudden she sat up like this, and she turned and she did the lift. You know when you do the lift to toot? She turned on her mat and she goes, and then she goes, ah, and she went like this, and she wafted in my direction, and I'm laying there, and it's like, oh my God, she just farted in my face. And it's like, so you're trying to like roll to the side, but I was just like, why would you lift, fart, and then waft? Like, why would you do that? Like, if any time I feel a toot coming on hot yoga, and I have felt toots coming on, I have not ripped butt in class yet. It's gonna happen. But I'm saying, like, I will clench, and it's like, ooh, you get that kind of, you're already sweating, but you got that, like, oh, I gotta keep this in. Like, I don't want to be the one in class just to let it rip. So you hold it in, you hold it in, you hold it in. You do what you have to do. You do what you have to do to not be the one to toot in class, okay? You can't change in the middle of class. You can't change your spot in the middle. There's people everywhere. The place is crawling with people. So you can't be like, oh, sorry, Mark. Nancy just farted. I'm going to need to move. Like, you can't do that. But she wafted. She wafted that toot, okay? And it's like, what? And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, she did. She got me. That's how you get pink eye. You know that, right? You gotta clench, Joanne. You gotta clench. You're sitting there and you pray to the yoga gods, right? Please don't let me be the one. Please don't let me be the one to fart today in class. And as you get ready to change your position, I mean, it'll happen. It's gonna happen at some point. It's gonna happen at some point. I'm gonna be the one who rips it at yoga. But to date, it has only been other people farting in yoga. I have not. I keep it classy, Sherry. Eric was in me when that happened because I rolled over. He was on the other side, and I was like mouthing it to him. But here's the thing. Like, when we're, and I don't know, it must just be a woman thing. Oh, Steve, it must be a woman thing, and I don't know, we have some dudes in here today. I just saw Steve. Every next yoga class, everyone has pink eye. What happened? Oh my God, Nancy farted, and it got in the air. We all got the poop particles in our eyes. Could you imagine? So, I don't know if this is just that women, like, try to clench it and keep it quiet because we don't want to have big fart noises when we're in public. But like, I do try to keep my toots to myself. Now, at home, I don't care, okay? I'll let them rip. The kids think it's funny. I always blame their father. It's hilarious, right? But in public, I do try to keep it in, okay? I try to keep those toots in. My husband, on the other hand, rips toots in public. He does not care. He will crop dust you down an entire aisle of the grocery store, and you're like, driving the cart and it's like, oh God, that one hit me in the face, you know? But he doesn't care. So I don't know if it's just dudes don't care and they will fart anywhere. And if it's like a woman thing where they like want to keep it to themselves. But I try not to fart in public. Like just as a rule of thumb, okay? I try not to fart in public. My husband does not care. If you get in the back of him crop dusting you, you're done, man. And the kids don't care either. Like we'll be out and we'll be in the frozen food aisle and it's like, can we get waffles? And it's like, why? Why would you do that? Why? Like, keep it quiet. And they're like, well, I can't keep it quiet. And it's like, okay. And I don't know if it's just my family, but like they're, like this lady, like Nancy, that's not her name. I protected her identity. But like, what's with the lifting? Why do we all lift when we toot? Why do we all lift when we toot? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But everybody does a little lift, whether you're on the yoga mat. You don't have to usually do it when you're standing, but seated, you got to do the lift and toot, okay? I'm just saying. I don't know if it's a dude thing, but I think it might be. Dudes don't care. They'll just rip butt. You have to head for another aisle. You have to head for another aisle. Okay? And I think at some point, you probably get old enough that you don't care whether you're a man or a woman. It's just, you're going to do it. Because I have been in an aisle with a woman who had to be in her 80s or 90s. And she was looking for something. And she just ripped the loudest toot. And she either couldn't hear her own toot or she didn't care. But she didn't move. She just kept browsing. She was looking for something. I don't remember what it was. But she was on the shelf looking. And she was just... And it's like, all right, I get it. Go for it, lady. Own it. She didn't care. No qualms about that. Just ripping it right there. Maybe it's the testosterone, Tony. I don't know. And every time, and I don't know how many times we've had this conversation, but every time I fart, no matter what, in the house, my husband looks at me every single time and says, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. And it's like, so let me get this straight. You can fart all day long. You can fart up and down aisles. You fart and then trap me under the covers in bed. But a little toot, a little tiny toot, and it's the most disgusting thing you've ever smelled or heard in your life. That's disgusting. That's what he says to me. That's disgusting. It's like, I'm sorry. I got my nails painted before we went to New York. I went with a blue. I don't know, but I need it's lasted 2 weeks. It did good. So yeah, so that's my. I don't know why they think that's disgusting. Oh. So sometimes I try to wait and hold a toot and then sit next to him or sit on his lap, and then I toot. So yeah, Joanne, I'm with you, but I think, you know what? If it happens, you better just roll with it. He hotboxes. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. He'll get you under there and he'll go, I just want to hug you. And then I'll roll over next to him in bed and then he holds on to me and he farts. How disgusting is that? I should have pink eye every day of my life. Every day of my life, I should just walk around with pink eye. What's wrong? Oh, my husband just farts a lot. Like, that's disgusting. Oh, thanks, Ken. Ken's going to praise me for a good fart. No, that's disgusting. You know who might be the biggest tooter in our house? Velma. She's a tooter. Oh, the kids always fart on me. They think it's hilarious. One time my son goes running through the house. And he thought he was hysterical, and he was trying to make himself fart, and he did like 3 in a row, and I said, you better watch out, you're going to crap your pants. So he's standing there, he turns around, he goes, huh! And then he goes, ah! And a nugget came out, and he went running for the bathroom. He did, in fact, try to fart and crapped himself. So I was like, I'm not helping you with that. You clean that up. You take care of that. You go wipe up good, and you put those, you rinse them undies, you stick them in the washing machine. But he sure did. He sure did. Tried to fart, crapped himself. Okay? So you gotta watch. You don't want to play that game. You don't want to play that game. Okay? Because you will lose. You will end up with a nugget in your drawers. Okay? So don't play that game. That's what I tell my kids. When the husband and the dogs are farting. I don't know. Velma's she's a loud tutor. I don't know that it's super, super, super stinky. Daft stink. Something fierce. It's the food she's on. She's on prescription food. But nobody is worse than my husband. Nobody's toots are worse than my husband's. Okay? My husband's toots, the worst. Oh, it was more than a shart. It was a full nugget. Full nugget. Okay? Full on. Crapped his pants. Full on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's definitely more than a shart. It wasn't just a lightning streak, you know. I mean, it was full on. So yeah, so we had some productive conversations today. We talked about my terrifying dog experience where my dog thought my neighbor's dog was a chew toy. We talked about hot yoga and farts. It's the Taco Bell. That I would agree with, Tanya. Why my husband farts all the time. Yeah. Sure it is. And he lies. He hides his Taco Bell addiction. He will go to Taco Bell. He won't tell me that he goes. And then he will hide the trash. And because he doesn't bring it in the house, he always eats his Taco Bell in the car. He hides it. Okay? He hides it. Everyone likes their own brand. Yes, Julie. Yes, Julie, that is true. I think it's funny because you do know your kids, you know your husband's and your own and your kids' scent, right? Like your own brand, you know that scent, okay? So it is not that it smells good by any stretch, but it's tolerable and you know it and it's familiar, right? But if you get around somebody else and they rip one and it's like, because you're not used to that scent or smell, right? You're not used to it. So it catches you off, you know? So like think back to when you were, or if you're still changing your own kids' diapers. Like you can change your kids' diapers. It's their poop. You know the poop smell. It's always kind of like the same, right? Like it's over and over again. But then when you go to change somebody else's kid's diaper, it's like, oh. So like when Mason comes over or we go over there and I smell it, it's like, oh, your kid pooped. And they're like, no, he didn't. It's like, your kid crapped. Like, go take a look. And Trey was like, oh, he did go again. And it's like, that was horrific. And he's like, it's not that bad. And I'm like, it's not that bad because it's your kid, okay? But because I don't have to smell this all the time, that's a horrific stench, okay? Because I don't deal with that. But like, I'm sure if they came to my house and one of my kids was having a crap-a-palooza and they smelled it, your own brand that lives in your circle, you just get used to it. But when somebody else does, it's like, oh. And Mason, man, was on a tear the other day when we were over there. He must have crapped 3 times, and I was like, damn. What is he eating? So, yeah. Man, we covered a lot today, I feel like. Yeah, it's the diaper situation, right? Other kids, it's like, oh, my gosh. Yeah, so anyway, but I haven't changed. I mean, my kids have been out of diapers now for a long time. I mean, my baby is 7, and he still pees the bed, but for the most part, he's not pooping his pants, so I don't have to deal with that. So it's kind of like, oh, you wanted me to help you by changing your baby? Yeah. So anyway. All right. Well, I have literal loads and loads and loads of laundry to put away that I will add to this pile so that I can get that done. But guys, loved hanging with ya. Love our chats. Love our chats. I really do. You guys keep me sane. You are the best. And head on over, try Bulletproof. It's great coffee. If you love coffee, if you're a coffee addict like I am, if you're a hot mess like I am, head over and give it a whirl. Click the link above, get 10% off. Try you some Bulletproof. I know we've got people in here who love it too. Great start to my day too, Terry. You guys, I will see you soon. Have a great day. Make sure you're heading over and you're following on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can see a bunch of different stuff everywhere. I go live on YouTube on Tuesdays. I do stories on Instagram all the time. So there's plenty of places to follow. Oh, you want me to sing it? All right. It's Bulletproof, filter-free Friday. Fire away, fire away. Today we talked about stinkies, lots of poop and farting. All right, guys, make sure to try them. Give it a click, give it a link. Coffee Addict and Hot Mess right there, Heather. All right, you guys have a great day. I will see you soon. Wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.